Hello, it's Crafty Carol here with another video for you from very sunny Northern Ireland today. It's a beautiful day, if a bit chilly. Anyway, I'm doing this video for the Tech for Stampers blog hop, which is a monthly blog hop that I get involved with. And the theme this month is red and green. So I immediately thought of the Joy of Christmas suite, which has, not that, but these things, and beautiful paper. So this is the Joy of Christmas paper, and it has real red, cherry cobbler, garden green, shaded spruce, all my favourite reds and greens, and lots of different types of paper in it, all double backed again, so you can choose which side of the paper you want to use. There's some interesting grey tones in here as well, which is quite interesting, and browns and all sorts. So this is a paper that if I pull those out so you can see them properly, this is a paper you could use all year. So this would be lovely for masculine cards, for example. So those sorts of papers, obviously the patterns are Christmas, but the other papers can be used all year. So let's put those away for a second. The two stamp sets that are part of this set, I've used some from each. They each come as a bundle with dies, and this is the Joy of Noel with these lovely things. I'm using that greeting, making spirits bright today. This is the Christmas classics, and I've used the season's greetings from here and the holly berries. And I've also used the dies. So this comes with a beautiful set of dies. There's 2 loads of dies in with it. These lovely outline dies, this is one I've used, and some holly leaves and all sorts. It's very beautiful. The Noel one comes with the Noel. You'll have seen me do some cards already with using that Noel in the die, and again all sorts of other dies that cut out the different stamps in the set. So I'm also using this folder. This is one of the basics embossing folders, which are my total all-time favourite embossing folders. There's 3 of them, and this is one of them. They are part of the online exclusives. You won't find them in the catalogues, but they are on the online exclusives, and they're really worth it. 3 of them, fabulous. So for this card, I've got all the bits here. I've already done some of them, but I'm using, for the red and green, I'm using real red base. So this is an ordinary half of A4 cut at halfway, which is 14.8, scored at 10.5, and I'm going to use it in the landscape way, that way round. I've also got a piece of basic white for the inside, and that is 13.8 by 9.5. I have already cut out this is the die from the Christmas Classics set that I've just shown you very briefly. I've cut this out in garden green, and you need a piece 11 by 10 to be able to cut that out because of it sticking out either side. So there's a little bit of waste with that, but that is my cutout. I've already die cut that. And then 2 pieces, I've used a plain bit of card. You could either use 2 bits of paper or whatever you want, but I've used a plain bit of card and I've embossed it with this embossing folder. So hopefully, if I hold that up, you can see the picture in it, the embossing, it's beautiful. So I'm having that up at the top of my card, and I've also cut a piece of designer series paper to go at the bottom. This could go either way up, I can't actually decide. No, that way up I think. And I've cut both of these pieces. I've cut them at 14.3 by 5.5, so there will be overlap in the middle, but I don't want to risk. You could cut them right down to give them 5 each, but then you'd be, I don't know, I like to have an overlap because I think it's better when you're sticking things on card. So first thing to do is to emboss the this piece for I think I've given you the, have I given you the can't even remember, honestly, my brain has gone mad since COVID. Anyway, this piece is, just to check, 14.3 by 5.5, and I've embossed it, just run it through my cut and emboss machine using this folder. So my first job is to stick this on my card. So I'm just going to stick it at the top of the card. I'll put a little bit of glue around. Sticking this one on first. Make sure it's in the middle. And then I shall stick this on overlapping stick down card. Sometimes when card is embossed, you might just have to hold it a second to get it to stick with the glue, because it is embossed. So there's sort of, if you've got the glue not quite on the non-embossed bits, it won't really stick. Paper's not so bad. So I shall put some glue on this DSP, and then I'm going to overlap the paper on the bottom so that it's slightly bigger. It's going to be the slightly bigger piece. Cards don't look quite right if you make them half and half, because, I don't know, it just doesn't look right if you have them exact. So this one, this bit is slightly bigger than that bit. So that'll be 4 and a bit, 4.5 roughly, and this is 5.5. So it just overlaps it like that. Okay, so I'm going to do my stamping next, and I have got, for the inside, I've got the Making Spirits Bright. I've got my Season's Greetings to go across the centre. These are from the Christmas Classic set, and then the Holly Leaves. So I've got a red base for this card. So with my red and green, I'm going to stamp my greeting this time in Garden Green. I say this time, I've got another one that I've made with the opposite colours to show you, so I'll see that in a minute. But this is my, I don't want to stick that somewhere in the middle, Making Spirits Bright. And then I want my holly leaves. I'm going to just do a little holly decoration on the bottom there. So we'll have my leaves, again in Garden Green. And then we shall swap inks. So this time I'm using Real Red. So first of all, for the berries, I'm never sure which way up holly berries should go. They've got a little sort of white bit, and I've no idea which way around those should go. So if anybody knows, please do tell me, because I really don't know. It probably doesn't matter too much. So that's the inside of my card, and I'd already stamped my envelope. Never forget to decorate your envelope. I'll probably stick some paper across the flap as well, just to make that a little bit better. And then for the front, I'm going to stamp, because I'm using red and green, I've got a lot of green there and on the front, so I'm going to use the Real Red to stamp my Season's Greetings. Now I have already, this is dangerous really, but I have already die cut this piece using the die from the Christmas Classic set, so I've got to get this exact. Normally I would stamp it and then, oh, there we go. Normally I would stamp it and then fussy cut it, then die cut it. So that was a little bit of a risk, but luckily it's worked out. So there is my greeting. So very simply, to make up this card, I'm going to stick this inside. Oh, got a bit of green on it. I have to wipe that off in a bit. Must have got it on my finger somehow, but I don't know where. Anyway. Messy craft of me, as you well know if you've been watching many of my videos. So this is for the inside of my card. So that's that finished up. There we go. And then to finish the outside, I wanted to add a little bit more to it. So there is a lovely combo pack of Garden Green and Real Red ribbon. So that was ideal to use. So I'm going to cut myself a strip of ribbon to, it's going to be about that long. So get my ribbon scissors. I do keep a pair of scissors specifically for ribbon. They're the ones with a bit of ribbon tied, so I know which ones they are. But it is worth keeping a pair just for ribbon. And then I'm going to use some tear and tape along the middle of my card to stick my ribbon down. So I shall just put a strip along the card. Make sure that's well stuck down. And then I can stick the ribbon on top. So that's my ribbon. Then I'm going to stick this on top, green against green. Perhaps I should have had a bit more in there, who knows. We'll see how it looks when I've finished it. But I'm going to stick this on with dimensionals. I'll probably stick this on the middle first. It's so easy when you've got these sets of dies, because you know that these are going to fit, which is lovely. And they're nice dies with the sort of slightly rounded ends to them, so you don't have to bother faffing around trying to, because I don't like very rectangular things, so I like the fact that these are just trimmed off at the end, which is nice. So I'm going to put this on with some dimensionals. I have so many packs of dimensionals out here at the moment, it's ridiculous. I've no idea why. I'm sticking it on top of ribbon, so I want to actually put several dimensionals on to make sure it's going to stick. So I'm going to be quite generous, more generous than usual, I think, with my dimensionals for this one. I think that's worth it. And we'll stick that on in the centre. So there's the basis of my card, but I've got some berries on my cutout here, and I could go and cut it out in red as well and then trim off the berries and stick them on, but I've also got this wonderful stuff. This is one of there's a set of 3 Pearlized Enamel Effects Basics. This is the real red one. The other colours are white and black, but the so-called black, it actually comes out fairly green actually, which is quite useful. And all I'm going to do, and you'll see why I've done this at the end, because I'm going to put just blobs of this stuff on the berries. So rather than cut out or find gems to fit here, I'm using the Enamel Effects Basics. And it does, don't worry, it sort of sorts itself out. So don't worry if it looks a bit messy. It'll form itself into a nice little dome as it dries. But the key thing with this, and this is why I've done this at the very end, is that it takes a long time to dry. I would actually leave them 24 hours to make sure they're fully dry before you try and do anything with them. But that just adds a little bit of more colour to my red and green card. So this is my very simple, very quick red and green card for the blog hop. And just to show you that I've done one in the other colours just to match it. And you can tell me which one you like best, really. So I've got this one done basically in green, and I've used here the red. So this is my garden green base. So I've stamped that in red rather than this one in green to match the red and green theme. I've used the same DSP actually, because it is both red and green, and just changed the card at the top. So let me know what you think. Do you like those cards, or which one is your favourite? I don't think I can decide. Difficult one. Let me know. Thanks for watching. If you want to know more and get all the measurements, I have given them on the video, but they are written in my blog at craftycarolscards.co.uk, and you'll find the latest blog post, which has got all the measurements and the products that I've used. Thank you for joining me today. Please do sign up and subscribe to this channel, and also sign up for my emails on the blog. Thanks for joining me. Bye for now.